And last weekend it was a interesting one. We had the Jordan 4 Fears release. So when it comes to the new Jordans every Saturday, you already know the first place I'm going. I'm checking out Mr. Butter's channel, man, for that short, the finish line pickup. JD
Man,
Sports
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's I love doing that. Because for the longest time that didn't exist. I feel like it's all order online, but I still feel like there's no substitute for going, waiting there for the store to open, and then grabbing your pair,
So
yeah.
Did you have to create Fear to get those Fear 4s?
I knew they were only getting one pair, so I went early.
Wait, so one pair?
I mean,
they got one pair for the whole store.
Wait, just one size?
One pair, one size for the whole store.
That back door open.
You think so?
Wait, hold on, bro.
So I was there real early, and my wife went with me, and it's crazy because this is the first time my wife ever went with me. I waited in line. Security told us we had to wait back at this certain point, and then she pulled back the rope at like, I don't know, 5 till 10, like a couple minutes before it opened. Well, here somebody hurried up and got up to the gate before me, and then the security lady disappeared. And this dude must have been talking to Finish Line too, and he looked back at me and he was like, he literally said, Psh. That's what he said. He looked back and he saw me and went, Psh. He said they only have one pair, so, and I said, yeah, and it's mine. And he was like, no, blah, blah, blah. And like, we got into it. He said, I ain't gonna do nothing because I'm on parole. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you ain't gonna do nothing because they're my shoes and I'm walking out with them. And then he said, I'm on parole for attempted murder.
Damn. Hey, bro, if that happened, I'm gonna do what Mr. Butter did. I'm up it on their ass.
And I've told my wife a couple of times, like, I probably should have just walked away. And then she's always like, yeah, but then if somebody just bullies you out of your spot in line and you just let them, then they're just going to bully the next person out of line, like, because they'll get rewarded for that behavior. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I agree, that's right. But like, looking back at it, honestly, guys, if you would have seen this dude, I had no business.
We would have killed dude ahead.
Come on now.
And I'm going to end up being a news story.
Bro, bread and butter, you good, bro. Just express your Second Amendment rights, my brother. You know how it is.
I mean, West Virginia, everybody walks around with a gun, but I was on the other side of the Potomac.
Right.
But the thing is as well, I don't want to have to take a pistol if I'm getting shoes. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, but this is Jordan's, bro. Like, that's a tradition. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should
it goes hand in hand.
partaking. It's an American tradition. Man. You know, people have been doing it since like the 90s, maybe since the 80s. I don't know. I wasn't really, I was just like kicking back then, but it's an American tradition. You know what I'm saying? You bring your Glock, pick up your J's. Everyone does it.
Don't let them
I just don't want it to. I don't want to feel like I have to. The last time I thought about that. The last time I thought about that, somebody messaged me about some Grinches that I struck out on, and they were going to sell me Grinches for $300 in Pittsburgh, and I was like, well, if you just ship them to me, like, I'll pay you. And they were like, no, I want to meet in person. And I was thinking, like, man, I'll have to take a pistol with me, like, because I ain't trying to take $300, and they just wanted cash. Like, it just seemed weird. And it was just like, man, am I going to drive to Pittsburgh and like meet somebody that I don't know, and I'm going to an address that they're sending? Like, I just don't feel, there's certain things you don't feel comfortable with, and I just feel like you don't do them. But anyhow, I don't ever want to feel like I need to take a gun to like get a pair of shoes. But I think in hindsight, the dude. Well, my wife was talking to my nephew about it, and every time she'd say another sentence, my nephew's eyes got bigger and bigger. And like, I think she was like, yeah, he had all kinds of face tattoos, and she was like, he was a good foot taller than him, and he was like, yeah, he was way bigger than I was. But then in hindsight, like, I'm just glad that nothing came of it. But
nah, don't let the face tats scare you. That's just a cry for help, bro. Like, trust me, that's nothing.
Well,
man.
yeah, but you
My
know
boy
what
just wanted
scared
to hug,
me?
bro.
What scared me was like, and two, for the record, like, he believe it or not, well, never mind. I don't want to get into all that. But
big shout out to Bells in the chat. We appreciate the kind words. They said, glad you made it out alive, Mr. Butter.
I appreciate that, Bells. Thank you so much.
Nah, most
I guess Mrs. Butter is glad too. But that's another thing. I mean, the argument just started and she was gone. But I'm glad she was. But she was like, she hates that kind of stuff. And I've gotten into a handful of altercations in front of her, and she hates that. So she was just, I don't even know where she was, but Mrs. Butter happened to go with me that day. And as soon as, you know, tempers started flaring, like, she was just gone. But it ended up working out. What gets me, and you guys got to let me know what you think about this, but when I was talking to somebody the other day, they were like, oh, she was into it. The security guard, the guy said to me, like, when I told him, I was like, yeah, security, like, made us all stand there behind the line and said, and gave us all numbers. And he said, well, security walked right by me and didn't say a thing. And I was just like, I don't know if security was like, if he knew security or something, but like, she apparently, he said she walked right by him and like didn't tell him, like, well, everybody has to wait in this area. And that's what she was telling everybody else. So I don't know if she was in on it or not, but
nah, she was definitely in on it, bro. Like, but the moral of the story, we're just happy you made it out safely, because we couldn't do it without you here on Tuesdays, bro.
That's all that matters.
Dude,
Step it up in the
honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't know if I would do that next time. So people in chat, like, what would you do if somebody cuts in line in front of you? Do you all see? There's somebody, Justin. That's why I don't grab shoes in person. How do you all feel though? Because I honestly want this to be interactive, and you guys too. Like,
nah, Justin,
JA,
you just scared, bro.
Like,